First of all, I have to clarify the shower story. Most of you know that they were involved in a car accident about 3 weeks ago, and we have a wonderful neighborhood, and every fall we have a neighborhood party, a block party, and Burnside's hosted in their beautiful big pasture that's right next to our house, and Dixon's help, and we had all the neighbors over there, but Valerie was having some problems, so I had taken her back up to the hospital and missed most of the block party, but they were still kind of sitting around visiting, and there were just, probably, 15 people that were still remaining from the block party, and Valvin hadn't been able to make it back to Provo. He was just coming for the day and had no change of clothing, so he'd been in the same thing for 3 days, and he just kept saying, I can't go anywhere, I can't be by anybody, in these torn up, awful clothes, I haven't showered for 3 days. He just kept saying all this stuff over and over because it was just such a mess. So I went up we're sitting in this group, and Valvin came up to tell me goodbye, and he was standing there with his hand on my shoulder, and I said, this is my new son-in-law, Valvin, and someone made the comment, oh, what a nice-looking young man, and I said, he's even cuter when he showered, and that's not what they heard. I said, he's even cuter when he showers, so everybody really lost. One of the many things that I do is I open my mouth and insert both of my feet on my arms. I just think life doesn't get any better than this. All of you are aware and know what a rocky year and a half it's been. And to have been in the temple with you and then to walk back here and see friends and neighbors and loved ones who have supported and sustained us in the last year and a half, and some of you since those early days when they said I couldn't have any children, and then when I had to hang on to Valerie by being in bed for 7 months. My heart is just full beyond capacity. And to have seen her, she is such a wonderful, wonderful young man. Many of you have seen the movie Legacy, that part where she's trying to decide if she's in love with him, and he just looks her in the face and he says, if you'll marry me, I promise I will make you laugh every day. And the longer I live in life, I think if you can laugh every day, you're going to be okay. And I know they're going to just have an eternal, wonderful companionship and relationship. And we love his family. I love my family. I love all of you friends. Life just really doesn't get better than this. Thanks so much for your support. And I love you most.
I'm supposed to follow that. Well, I'm the father of the bride. I'm speechless and I'm broke. I need a loan. Daryl, you'll do. I appreciate all of you being here. You know, as I saw you come into the temple for the ceremony, and then again here for others that weren't there also. I think these are our friends. Their family, their relatives, many of you, and many friends. They're not relatives, but so near and dear to us also. Appreciate your being here. Many of you have come long distances. And now the one uncle that isn't here for you, Val Dunn, I'm acquainted with, I find out. Chad, who used to live in Mendon. Now, is this right? He lived in Mendon, moved back to Indiana, and I sold his home for him when he moved from Mendon. And when we started, a couple of them back in that area, it kind of looked a little bit like they could be related to him. And so I got to visit him here and with Gene and find out, yeah, that's the brother. And so I am now acquainted with almost all the Miskins in the country. I knew Chad way back about a year ago or so when they kind of contemplated moving out of the valley here. This has been a rich experience in getting acquainted with Valvin. And he has come up many times on the weekend and spent time there at home, which is very choice. I'm sorry. He carries a very tremendous spirit. And I have felt that spirit. And I think you parents who have had children married and leave the nest, when you say, gee, as you look to those days and say, well, will my children find companions that they can be happy with, that will love them and take good care of them? All of those things are so important, and God has all those traits. But most of all, He has that giant of a spirit, which to me is more important than anything else. Because I know because he loves the Lord, that He'll always love my Valerie.
By Valerie's double cousins. I hope I get everybody. Laurie, Bonnie, Joel, Julie, Kimberly, and accompanied by Jane Benson. Kimball. I told you I'd get her. Sorry about that, Kimball. I have a daughter that seems to wear two kinds of clothing also. We're going to sing Candle on the Wall. And after that, we'll have a slide presentation.